today's lesson. As usual, my name is Ogwata Simon Peter. I'm going to take you through English, and today we want to look at picture composition. This is one of the things they set in your examinations, and many of you think that it is a very big thing to handle, but it's very simple. Just watch and learn. So there is picture composition. There is picture composition, and picture comprehension, and picture comprehension. So these are two different things. Picture composition, this is where you have pictures. This is where you have, they give you pictures A to F, or 1 to 6, or, yes, this is what we call picture composition. Then comprehension are the last 4 questions down to make them come up to 10. So let us first begin with the picture composition. Now, if you're given a picture composition, how do you go about it? So here we're going to say steps. Number 1, if you're given picture composition, 1, you have to read. You have to read the given instruction. You have to read the given instruction carefully. What do I mean? When you're given a picture, they will tell you pictures A to F. Pictures A to F tell a story about Ruth's journey. Study them and describe what is happening in each picture. That is what we call the given instruction. You have to read it carefully. Number 2, after you've finished reading the instruction, make sure you go through the given vocabulary words. Go through the given vocabulary words. Go through the given vocabulary words, if any, because at times they may not give you. Now, like the picture you're about to see on the screen, the pictures you're about to see on the screen, the instruction was pictures A to F tell a story about Ruth's journey. Study them and describe what is happening in each picture. That is the instruction. We have read it and we have understood it. Now, you may use these words below. So the given words for Ruth's pictures were waving, we had waving, we had the showing, we had stopping, we had the paying, we had the welcoming, then we had taxi. So these are the given words where our step 2 is saying go through the given vocabulary words, if any. But if they are also not given, fine, you have to still study the picture. Step 3 is telling us study the pictures carefully. Study the pictures. Study the pictures carefully. You have to study those pictures carefully. Others may say scan the pictures carefully. So 4, as you see the pictures on the screen, we have picture 1. There is a word that is matching with what is happening in picture 1. Picture B, picture C, D, E, F, like that. Each word there is matching with the action that is taking place in those pictures. So after you've studied the pictures carefully, what do we do next? The next thing we do is to attach the vocabulary to the picture. Attach the vocabulary. Attach the vocabulary to the pictures. Attach the vocabulary to the pictures. Just as you can see, these pictures are given in boxes. Okay? So we are going to have, this is A, this is B, C, D, E, and F. Now we have to attach this vocabulary given here to the pictures. So as we see our pictures, picture A, what word can you attach to picture A? I think we can attach there, waving. Yes. Picture B, what do you see there? I can see paying, paying or stopping. Must be paying, because we have paying there. Picture C, I can see her stopping. We are attaching the vocabulary to the pictures. Then C, D, there is a taxi there. There is a taxi there. We can see the taxis there. F, there is paying. Paying also we can use it, or stopping, whatsoever, if you want, because she has reached her destination. Then F, there is welcoming. Welcoming. So after we have attached our vocabulary to the pictures, we continue to the next step. What next after you have attached your vocabulary to the pictures? So now what you do, you go back and interpret. Interpret does not have the last E. Be careful. Go back and interpret the first picture. The first picture. Go back and interpret the first picture. Then write a sentence. Then write a sentence. Then write a sentence. After you've interpreted the picture, then you write a sentence. Next step after that, identify the subjects or articles. Identify the subjects or articles. Identify the subjects or articles that will start the sentence. Identify the subject or the articles that will start the sentence. When you're done with that, what do I mean? In these pictures, as you're seeing, picture A, we are seeing there is a girl, there is a man, and there is a woman. So what we mean here, we have to identify the articles to be used. You are not going to say the girl when you are looking at that girl for the first time. When you're looking at that girl for the first time, you say a girl. So what we mean here is you identify the subject or the articles to be used. We mean the article to be used with the girl, the subject is the a, because of the vowel, the consonant sound. So after that, we come to tenses. Here, we are going to use two types of tenses. The first tense that we are going to use here is the present. The present continuous tense. The present continuous tense. For ongoing actions. For ongoing actions. What do we mean here? Look at the picture on your screen. Look at picture A on your screen. You will see that you are seeing the girl is waving. She's now waving, going away. So we cannot use any other tense apart from the present continuous, because we assume that what you're seeing on the picture is taking place at that time. That is why we use the continuous tense, meaning we must make the best use of is for singular subjects or are for plural plus ing in the main verb. So take an example of picture A. If our sentence for picture A is to be constructed, would you say a girl is waving to a man and a woman? Okay? So waving is in a continuous tense. The next tense that we are going to use here is the present perfect tense. The present perfect tense for short-lived actions. The present perfect tense for short-lived actions. What do we mean here? Look at the picture on your screen. If you look at picture FE, we can say the girl has boarded off, because we are saying she's off the taxi. The girl has boarded off. She's not boarding off, but if the action is already finished, if she has already finished boarding off, we can use the present perfect tense. So we know that we are going to use two tenses here. If you see that the action is ongoing, let's use the present continuous tense. And if you see that the action has just got completed, you make sure you use the present perfect tense. After that, we also go to step 8. When talking about any picture, for the first time, use articles either are or an. We can also use some. If it is numbers, we can also use numbers. We can also use numbers like 1, 2, 6, and so on. What do we mean here? Take an example of picture 1. We can say 2 people are waving. I'm assuming we are using numbers for picture A. 2 people are waving to the girl. Okay? But also it is important, if you don't know them, you can also say some people are waving. You look at picture A, okay? Some people are waving, okay? Good. So, after that, when do we use article are? We use article are when the subject you are using is starting with a consonant sound. And when we use article an, we use article an when the subjects in the sentence are starting with the consonant vowels. I mean with vowels, not consonant vowels, with vowels. What do I mean here is, if it was maybe an elephant, we would say an elephant has maybe entered in the bush, an elephant, because it is starting with a vowel sound. But now here, we don't have anywhere we are going to use article an, because here we have a girl, a boda boda, and so on. So after knowing the articles to use, we also have to avoid namings. Avoid namings which have not been given. Which have not been given. Which have not been given. So take an example of our picture here. The name has been given. They're saying pictures A to F tell a story about Ruth Janet. So in this case, there is no need of saying a girl, but we use the name direct because we've been guided in the instruction that the girl in the picture is Ruth. So after that, the next step is when you see a picture for the first time, when you see a picture, when you're talking about that picture, for the second time, use article there. Why are you using article there here now? Because you are sure you know what you're talking about. Let's move on. After that, if you know that you're talking about that same thing in the picture for the second time, we use article there. Next, we must make sure that avoid passives. Avoid passives. What do we mean here? Don't use been or being for ongoing actions. For ongoing actions. Don't use been or being for ongoing actions. But we can use them, but can be used with finished actions, can be used for finished actions. What do I mean here? Maybe a certain boy was arrested by the police, and after reaching the police station, he is put behind the bars. So in this case, you are free to say the boy or the thief has been locked up in the police cell. The thief has been locked up in the police cell. So here, because he is already now in the police, the action is done. But if the action is ongoing, don't use passives. After that, we must make sure that if the last four questions read the last four questions, read the last four questions, read the last four questions to guide you further. Read the last four questions to guide you further. Why are you supposed to read these last four questions? Because some of them have sentences which you are supposed to construct here. go back and interpret the first picture, then write a sentence. So these last four questions here, some of them have sentences which you are supposed to use here, so they help you. Then finally, after you've done that, you make sure that questions that end in picture, maybe A, maybe B, maybe C, etc., must also end in the same way. Must also end in the same way. What do I mean here? If a question is asked saying, what is Ruth doing, or what was Ruth doing in picture A? What was Ruth doing? Look at picture A on your screen. If the question is asked, what was Ruth doing in picture A? The ending part of the question is in picture A. So your response must also be, Ruth was waving to the man and woman in picture A. So your response should also end in the same way. So when we come to the comprehension part of it, picture, comprehension. With the picture comprehension, these are the last four questions. The last four questions is what we are calling picture comprehension. Picture comprehension are the last four questions. What are you supposed to do with them? Number one, you are supposed to punctuate your answers. Punctuate your answers. Next, make sure answer the questions in full sentences. Answer the questions in full sentences. So that is what you're supposed to observe when you're dealing with picture comprehension. So let's go back to our pictures on the screen and we try to construct those sentences. Picture A, what sentence do you think you would construct for picture A? The sentence would be, Ruth is waving at a man and a woman. Full stop. Ruth is waving at a man and a woman. Picture 2, what do you see there? The sentence there can be, Ruth is paying a boda rider. I think you can see her giving the man money. Ruth is paying a boda rider. Because we are seeing the action is going on. Ruth is giving money to a boda rider. Why are we saying a boda rider? Because we are talking about this boda rider for the first time. Picture C, what sentence? We can say Ruth is boarding a taxi. Ruth is boarding a taxi. Then picture D, Ruth has boarded a taxi. Picture E, we can have the other question that I asked, what is Ruth doing in picture E? We can say Ruth is maybe you can say, what is Ruth doing in picture B? We can say Ruth is paying a boda in picture B, or Ruth is paying the boda in picture B. The final thing maybe we can have is What is happening in picture F? Some people are welcoming Ruth. So, these are some of the steps we follow when we are supposed to answer picture composition. I hope you have enjoyed the lesson. Thank you so much.